Hey, you guys, I am so excited to share with you today the top 5 books that have made an impact on my tutoring business. I want to thank Dana for being here and Elizabeth. So glad that you guys are here. So are you guys ready? I have a lot to say about each of these different books and be able to share with you because these are just like total game changers for you guys. So let's check it out. Number 5 is The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Oh my gosh, this is a book on success, guys. It argues that to be successful, you need to be willing to work 10 times harder than everyone else. Cardone says that you should approach success as a duty, an obligation, and a responsibility. And to be successful is the ethical thing to do. The 10X Rule is an excellent book that champions commitment as a way of achieving extraordinary results. So what is the 10X Rule? To be successful, you need 10X more effort and commitment than the average person. That's the assumption behind the 10X Rule. The rule requires that you act in a wildly different way than you've been doing to achieve your wildest dreams. Success needs a grander mindset than most people have. So if you're not yet successful, you have reason to suspect both your actions and your thoughts. Limiting the success of your desire is a violation of the 10X Rule. So you need to be willing to overextend yourself to the point that others thinks it's unreasonable. Here are some mistakes that people make when setting goals. First, they miss target. They set their objectives too low. 2, they severely underestimate. It often takes more time and energy and money than people are willing to spend. Spending too much time competing. Domination is the way to go, he says. Underestimating the amount of adversity. There are more problems than anticipated are likely to crop up. So why is the 10X Rule vital? Miscalculating the efforts that you need to achieve your goals is going to leave you disappointed and discouraged. It's wiser to assume that the goal that you're trying to achieve is going to take 10 times as much effort, time, and money. And if it doesn't, then great. But if it does, then you're mentally prepared for it. When it takes more effort than estimated to achieve set goals, many people will move the finish line instead of increasing activity. Great managers push people to do more at the risk of coming short rather than moving the target line. Applying the 10X Rule also allows you to plan for unforeseen circumstances. Such circumstances might include employee problems, lawsuits, economic swings, shifts in technology, so on. Grant says that there are 3 crucial things about success. Success is important. Every community values success. Success is your duty. It's the ethical thing to do. Success is your duty, your obligation, and your responsibility. There is no shortage of success. Success is not a zero-sum game. There can be many winners. You want to assume control of everything, like take no prisoners in your path to success. Don't make excuses. Success is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens because of you, because of the actions that you take. So when playing the game of success, don't play the victim. Assume control of everything that happens to you, even if it's not to your liking. People who assume the position of victim will never be secure, simply because they elect to turn over responsibility to another party and because they never elect to know for themselves what they can do. You want to approach every situation as someone who is acting rather than being acted upon. Now, there are different degrees of action. Failure comes from operating at the wrong degree of action. He says there's 4 degrees of action. 1, do nothing. 2, retreat. 3, take normal levels of action. And 4, take massive action. All degrees of action, they are going to require energy and time. The question is, why waste your energy and time achieving average results or no results at all? Massive action is the most natural state of action, while normal levels of actions is the most dangerous of the 4 levels. The middle class and the average people are trapped in this vicious cycle of mediocrity. Average thinking and actions only guarantee you misery, uncertainty, and failure. Grant says that competition is for sissies. Your goal should be dominate, not to compete. With domination, you're going to be immune from competition. The first step to dominating is to decide to dominate. And the best way to dominate is to do what others refuse to do. For example, find something that your competitors are unwilling to do because of their size or their commitments. Expand when they're contracting. More importantly, apply that 10X rule. He also says obsession isn't a disease, it's a gift. Obsess over success, because to dominate in any sector, you have to dominate your thoughts, your interests, your consideration. If you're not obsessed with the things that you want, you are going to spend the rest of your life making excuses on why you didn't get the life that you wanted. He says, expand, never contract, because contracting violates the concept of the 10X rule. While others are retreating, you should be taking steps to take advantage of their opportunity that the retreat presents. It's better to die in expansion than in contraction. He says, fear is the great indicator. Fear equals false events appearing real. Whenever you're faced with fear, act promptly. Don't let fear crowd your judgments. Instead, let it guide your future decisions. Act when you're afraid, because if you don't, that fear is going to build up. Time is what drives fear. Don't spend too much time preparing, as it's often best to fail when doing something than to fail while over-preparing. Right? We also have a myth of time management. This work-life balance is kind of a flawed way of thinking. It's better to be interested in abundance as opposed to balance. Successful people think in terms of all, while unsuccessful people place limits on themselves. If you work harder on the things in your life, you're going to find the time for everything. You don't have to give up your career for family or vice versa. With a 10X rule mentality, everything works out. Criticism, you're going to notice, is a sign of success. When people criticize you, it means that you're doing something right. Criticism comes from getting attention. And to achieve serious levels of success, you must get attention. People are going to say disparaging things about you to make themselves feel better. Your abundance is going to highlight their deficiency. Weak and overwhelmed individuals, they're going to respond to others' success by attacking it. So to handle criticism effectively, you must see it as an element of your success formula. Let's take a look at excuses, because excuses are never the reason why you did or didn't do something, right? They're just a revision of the facts that you make up in order to help yourself feel better about what happened or didn't happen. Excuses will never improve your situation. People who make excuses are slaves and victims and are destined to have leftovers of others' scraps. Successful or unsuccessful. Success has nothing to do with economics, education, or demographics. Success depends on how you approach things in life. He says successful people simply think and act differently compared to other people. So to be successful, you need to have a can-do attitude, approach things with the attitude that no matter what, it can be done. 2, believe that I will figure it out. Don't say, I don't know. Say, I'm going to figure that out. 3, you want to focus on opportunity. You want to see problems and complaints as growth avenues. 4, love challenges. Be compelled and invigorated by challenges. 5, seek to solve problems. Separate yourself from others by solving problems or making situations better. 6, persist until successful. With persistence, you're going to multiply your success. 7, take risks. Successful people are willing to take risks daily. Be unreasonable. Don't act according to agreed upon realities. Create your own reality. 9, be dangerous. Throw caution to the wind and take massive actions. 10, create wealth. There is a wealth of ways to be able to make money with services and courses. 11, your success depends on the action you take today. 12, always say yes. Don't turn down opportunities. Say yes until you can manage to say no. 13, habitually commit. Consistently commit to meeting your goals and engaging in your activities. 14, go all the way. Don't hold back. Don't take any prisoners. 15, focus now. Utilize your now to build your future. Stop focusing on the past. 16, demonstrate courage. Face dangerous situations in spite of your fears. 17, embrace change to be victorious. You need to be continually adapt. 18, determine and take the right approach. Determine what works and what doesn't. 19, break traditional ideas. Be a thought leader. Don't be too focused on how things have always been. 20, be goal-oriented. Stay focused on your goals and you'll spend your life achieving the objectives of others. 21, be on mission. Create a mission that's going to change things for others significantly. 22, have a high level of motivation. Be driven and stimulated toward action. 23, be interested in results. Value the results of your work over the time spent on the activity. 24, have big goals and dreams. Set 10x goals that are not ordinary. 25, create your own reality that's different from what others expect. 26, commit first. Figure it out later. Be 100% behind what you start. 27, be ethical. 28, be interested in the group. Take care of those around you. Their well-being matters for your success. 29, be dedicated to continuous learning. Seek new information and never stop learning. 30, be uncomfortable. Get out of your comfort zone. 31, reach up in relationships. Create friendships with people who are better than you. So those are just some of the big main components of that particular book. I know lots of people here are commenting about how awesome, this stuff is awesome. We've got Clara in the house. Welcome. I'd love to know too, what are your favorite books? Just like Beth, what are some of your favorite books? We just talked about the 10X rule, and we're going to be moving on to number 4. So I'm going backwards from, if I were to spend my most time reading a book in order, number 5 would be the 5th book that I would read. I'm saving number 1 for last for you guys. All right. So the next one, number 4, is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And this is a book on self-belief and confidence. It's going to teach you how to think and act positively towards self, others, and the conduct of your business. A good book with many life-changing lessons on the power of self-belief. So in this book, you're actually going to learn that success comes down to how you think. So if you think negatively, you're going to get negative results. And if you think positively, you're going to get positive results. Successful people know this, and they use the power of belief to live more fulfilling lives. Thinking big works like magic. It will open new ways of solving problems, encourage action, help to conquer your fears, and even earn you the respect of your friends and your peers. And thinking big begins with believing in yourself. Believe that you can succeed, and you will. Belief is going to be central to success. How successful you are is determined by the size of your own thinking. If you think small, expect small results. Think big, and big things are going to start happening for you. With belief comes the will to do things. And once you start getting things done, opportunities are going to open for you. Belief not only inspires action, but also opens the mind to new ways of looking at things. The how to do it comes from the person who believes he can do it. To develop the power of belief, think success, not failure. Condition yourself to think positive thoughts. 2, constantly remind yourself that you're better than you think you are. Don't sell yourself short. 3, believe big. How successful you are will be determined by the size of your own belief. The failure disease, he says you can cure your excusitis, because that ends up being reasons why people come up with to explain why they can't be successful. Successful people don't suffer from this disease, from excusitis. They don't make excuses for not getting things done. They learn from their mistakes, and they persevere when things get hard. The more successful the individual, the less inclined he is to make excuses. The 4 more common excuses that unsuccessful people make are bad health, not enough intelligence, I'm too old or too young, bad luck. All of these reasons are just excuses. Even if your health is bad, you can still find the strength to have a positive attitude that will allow you to make good of what time you have left. And if you worry that you don't have the brains, come on, remember that you are likely underestimating yourself. And there's more to success than just having brains. Having the right attitude can get you just as far. Build confidence and destroy fear. Succumbing to fear and not having enough confidence is the one reason why people don't succeed. Fear, uncertainty, lack of confidence explains why we still have economic recessions. Fear explains why millions of people accomplish little and enjoy little. It stems from mismanaged negative imagination, which means that it can be cured with positive thoughts and actions. So how do you cure fear? Act promptly. Postponing things breeds fear. So if you have to act, do it promptly. 2, only put out positive thoughts in your memory bank. Don't fall into the trap of developing self-deprecatory thoughts. 3, put people in proper perspective. If you're afraid of people, realize that they're just like you with the same expectations and fears. 4, practice doing what your conscience says is right. Doing what's right is very practical for success. 5, make everything about you say, I'm confident. Be a front seater. Make eye contact. Walk 25% faster. Speak up. Smile big. I think the size of your thinking determines the scale of your accomplishments. So now it's time to start thinking big. Don't sell yourself short. Know your worth by concentrating on your assets. Often you're going to find that you are better than you think you are. Use big thinkers' vocabulary. Practice using big, bright, cheerful words, words that promise victory, happiness, hope, and so on. Stretch your vision. See what's possible, not just what is. Practice adding value to people, yourself, and to situations. 4, get the big view of your job. Appreciate the things that you have. For example, start thinking that your job is important and your approach will change. Think above trivial things. Don't be petty. Don't engage in pointless arguments. Ask yourself, is this really important? Let's take a look at how you can think and dream creatively. Creative thinking is finding new and improved ways to do anything. And when you do that, you're going to be successful. To strengthen your creativity ability, you can believe that it can be done. That's the first step. Your mind is going to find a way. Next, tradition shouldn't paralyze your mind. Have an open mind that's receptive to new ideas. Be experimental. Be progressive. And then ask yourself, how can I do better? Self-improvement has no limit. And if you look for ways to improve, you are going to find them. Capacity is a state of mind. Make a habit of asking yourself daily, how can I do more? There's always room to get things done, even when you're too busy. Next, practice asking and listening. Big people monopolize the listening, but small people monopolize the talking. Next, stretch your mind. Befriend people who can help you think better. You are what you think you are. People see us the way we see ourselves. So if you see yourself in a great light, people are going to treat you the same way. How you look, how seriously you take yourself is reflected on how other people are going to treat you. To improve how others see you, you want to, 1, look important. A good appearance is going to boost your confidence and your spirits. Think your work is important. That's important. Sell yourself to yourself. Give yourself a pep talk each day. Remind yourself, you know what? You're an important person. 3, always ask yourself, is this how an important person thinks? Manage your environment and go first class. Your environment is going to shape how you think and act. For example, if you have prolonged exposure to negative people that think negatively and close contact to petty people who help us believe in petty ways, it's going to be hard. You want to be with bright, energetic people that are ambitious and have drive. Big men do not laugh at big ideas. So to manage your environment, you want to stay conscious and be mindful of the things that are in your environment. 2, make your environment work for you rather than against you, and avoid negative people. 3, don't listen to small thinking people. Get your advice from successful people. 5, refresh your mind. Find new and stimulating things to do. 6, throw out poison from your environment. Always stay positive and stay away from things like gossip. 7, go first class in all that you do. You can't afford to do otherwise. And make your attitudes your allies. The way to read the minds of other people is by observing their attitudes, because attitudes speak volumes about a person's chances of success. To grow the right attitude, you want to grow the I'm activated attitude. Show enthusiasm in everything that you do. The results that you get are proportional to the enthusiasm that you show. You want to grow the you are important attitude. Learn to see and treat others with respect. People are willing to do more for you if and when you make them feel important. And then you want to grow the service first attitude by giving people more than what they expect to get. And think right toward people. Your success depends on the support of other people. If people like you for your character and the way that you carry yourself around, then you're going to get, you're going to get more clients. You're going to earn more praise. You're going to be accomplished. People like likable people. And then think right towards people. Make yourself lighter to lift. Practice being likable. Ask yourself what it is about other people that you like and then copy those traits. Take the initiative to build friendships. Get people's names straight. Introduce yourself to others. Drop personal notes to your new friends, telling them that you'd want to know them better. Accept differences in other people and their limitations. No one is perfect, so don't be too harsh in your judgment of others. Tune into the positive channel in your brain. Find admirable qualities in others. So if you think positively towards other people, you're going to get positive results. And then practice conversation generosity. Give others time to express themselves. And show courtesy to other people. Showing courtesy makes other people feel better about themselves. Don't blame others for your setbacks. How you think when you lose determines how long it's going to be until you win. You want to get the action habit. Everything that you can see around you, from houses to baby food, is an idea that was acted upon. You should act on your ideas if you want to be successful. So how do you act on your ideas? Be an activationist, or someone who gets things done. Don't postpone it. Don't make excuses. Just get it done. And then don't wait for the perfect conditions, because there's never perfect conditions. There's never the right time. 3, ideas alone are not going to bring success. Ideas have value only if they're acted upon. And you take the first step. If you have fears, they're going to disappear once you start getting started. And then don't sit around waiting for motivation or that right feeling. You want to start now, not tomorrow, next week, next month, or later. Procrastination is going to be a path to failure. And start acting. Don't waste time preparing to act. You want to make sure that you seize the initiative. Show that you have the ability and the will to get things done. So let's turn defeat into victory. No matter what you do in life, there's going to be setbacks. The question is, how do you deal with them? How do you handle the hardships that are ultimately determining how successful that you become? You want to turn your defeat to victory. Learn from your mistakes, because setbacks present learning opportunities, right? Don't waste them. Be your own constructive critic. Be on the lookout for your own mistakes, your own faults, your weaknesses, because correcting them makes you look professional. And stop blaming luck. Research your setbacks and find out what went wrong. Be willing to try new approaches. Blend persistence with experimentation. If things don't work, try a different strategy, because eventually some path will open. Remember that every situation has a good side. Find the good side and whip discouragement. And use goals to help you grow. You're not going to be able to achieve anything unless you set goals. Goals work as pointers to the destination that you're trying to get to. So here are some steps for effective goals. 1, create an image of where you want to be in 10 years. 2, write down your 10-year plan. You can't leave things to chance. Life is too important. So here we go. Let's really figure it out. 3, surrender to your desires. Set goals for every aspect of your life. 4, let your most important goal guide you. 5, achieve your goals one step at a time. 6, build goals for every day of your life. The day-by-day effort plan takes off. It's awesome. Next, invest in yourself. So the next part that this book talks about is how to think like a leader. Leaders are people whose success depends on how well they work with others. And so some of the points that they talk about is to trade minds with the people that you want to influence. So see things through the eyes of the people that you want to lead. It is easier to bring them on board with your ideas that way. Next, think, what is the human way to handle this? Put other people first, and they're going to reciprocate. And then think progress. Believe in progress. Push for progress. Make progress a daily goal in everything that you do. And take time to confer with yourself. Clear your mind by spending time alone to regenerate your creative powers. So that is all about thinking big. Number 3 on my list is Profit First. It's by Michalowicz. So if you have, this is by Mike Michalowicz. This book teaches you how to run a profitable business and explains every business metric that matters. Moreover, you also learn the difference between making money, income, and accumulating money, wealth. So save your money and block access to it so that it doesn't get stolen by you. So sales minus profit equals expenses. You don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. This is going to cause panic, and it's like a survival trap. The only way to fix your financials is by facing it by taking the following action steps. You want to draw a line in the sand and commit to running a profitable business. Agree not to beat yourself up. So here's how Profit First works. It's a method like a successful diet. 1, you use small plates. When money comes into your main operating account, you immediately dispense it into different accounts in predetermined percentages for profit, owner pay, taxes, and consistent operating expenses. 2, serve sequentially. Always move your money to the profit account first, then to your tax account, and what remains to expenses. 3, remove temptations. Move your profit account and other accounts out of arm's reach to make it difficult for you to access your money. 4, enforce a rhythm. Do your payables and pay your bills twice monthly, he says, on the 10th and the 25th. And here's some action steps to get your business profit ready. Have 2 checking accounts with your bank, operating expenses and owner's pay accounts, as well as 2 savings accounts, tax and profit accounts. And then set up 2 more external accounts with a different bank, the no temptation profit account and the no temptation tax account. Don't enable any convenience options for your 2 external accounts. Viewing the accounts online, getting checkbooks for the accounts. He says, here's the naked truth. How healthy is your business? A great business is one that has healthy profits. As business gets healthier, taxes increase. Profitability isn't an event, it's a habit. Profitable habits practiced consistently cause a company to be financially healthy. And applying the profit first principles in a new business that is yet to make any revenue is an advantage because it allows you to form the right habits right from the get-go. And forming the right business habits from scratch prevents you from forming bad habits that can be difficult to break in the long run. In the early stages of building a business, the focus should be on selling and doing. The processes and systems come later. Start by allocating 1% to your profit account, 50% to the owner's pay, 15% for the tax account, and then choose your adventure. Perfectionism will kill all dreams, he says. Bigger profit percentages lead to lower operating expenses. Profit percentages ought to be small at first, then grow gradually with time. You are your business's best and most important employee. In Profit First, Michael mentions to start with small profit percentages to establish a new automatic routine for you. Take action now because you can easily cut your expenses by 10%. Cancel anything that you don't need to help your business run and to keep your customers happy. Negotiate every remaining expense except your payroll. Then he talks about the 10-25 rhythm. He says it's beneficial because it's going to help you become less reactive towards bills, causing you to feel more in control. It helps you to take note and get rid of that unnecessary expenses and effectively cater to small recurring ones. When you don't have enough money left over to pay your bills, it's a warning from your business that you can't afford the bills that you're incurring. The lifeblood of your business is money. It should flow like a rhythm, not randomly. And after every quarter, withdraw 50% of your profits to keep the rest as your reserve. Enjoy yourself with the money that you withdraw each quarter and celebrate and treat yourself. If you owe taxes at the end of the year and you don't have enough money in your tax account, this is the only time you are allowed to withdraw from your profit account for a reason other than profit distribution. When you have excess money in your tax account, you can transfer it to your profit account. If the money in your profit account is over a 3-month reserve, put the money back into the business. Set up a celebration list for the ways that you'd like to indulge each quarter. Most of us want to destroy debt, so paying yourself should always be your priority, even if you're in debt. Practice the one more day technique. You can hold off on purchasing something and test how much you need it. You'll feel rewarded when you set yourself up saving more and more without certain terms. And to stop yourself from accumulating debt, cut off the fat from your business. Don't cut the muscle. Modern day success is not about earning the most revenue, hiring more employees, and having the biggest office spaces. It's about generating the most profit through the fewest employees with the least expensive office space. You cannot add new debt as you pay the old debt off. Pay your smallest debt off first. And he talks about found money. 95% of your company's profitability depends on what goes on beneath the surface after the sales, and not the sales themselves. So serve your clients with the same or very similar problems using your one consistent solution to solve the problems. The key to being efficient is repeatedly serving a consistent core customer need. Innovation in business and efficiency comes from big, bold questions. The more you focus on improving efficiency, the closer you'll get to achieving double the results in half the time. And fire bad clients, clone your best clients, sell smart. Selling more is the most difficult way to increase profits. Focus on one area of your business that benefits your best customers and challenge yourself to figure out how to get twice the results for half the effort. And stick with it. Here are the numerous benefits of accountability groups. So have accountability partners is going to help to make it potentially a challenging experience more bearable. Enforcing a plan or a system with others ensures that you are more likely to do your part. When you regularly meet with an accountability group, you get into a rhythm that makes it easier for you to stay the course and achieve your goal. Accountability groups work, so keep the accountability groups honest. Let your accountability partners not necessarily be your friends. You must be accountable for the process by any means necessary. So there's some advanced techniques with Profit First. Implement the advanced techniques after at least 2 quarters of implementing the basics. The extra accounts opened, in addition to the 4 primary accounts, are the income account, the vault for difficult business days, your stocking account for big purchases and to fund buying of inventory if you need to, pass-through account, materials account, subcontractor, commissions account, major equipment account, a drip account, a petty cash account, sales tax account, and living profits first. Your business is going to grow faster when you focus on profit first and pay yourself first. Financial freedom is doing what you choose to do when you choose to do it. Lock in your new lifestyle of living within your means. Where it all falls apart, the fastest way to screw up profit first is to start sliding back into the old beliefs that got you into trouble in the first place. Don't go too big, too fast, cut the right costs, and invest in assets. Assets are anything that allow you to bring more efficiency to your business by allowing you to get more results at a lower cost per result. Adjust your percentages should you find yourself unable to cover your expenses. And don't raid your tax account. All right, book number 2, guys. Virtual Freedom by Decker. Learn how to hire a virtual assistant to free up your own time. So building a business is hard to do, right? You need to keep track of costs. You need to conduct a business strategy. It's not easy to find the time to do everything. You ever find that? You find that it's difficult to kind of find the energy to start completing tasks. But we have this world of modern technology, and it's provided this amazing solution called virtual assistants. These are employees who work for you, but they're in maybe another state, another city, another country. If you hire a team of effective virtual assistants, you will get the time to plan your business. But if you hire them wrong, you're going to find yourself with even more problems and the work that needs to be done. So this book is going to show you how to best hire, train, and manage a team of virtual assistants. Further, you're going to get to learn the best way to educate someone in a different time zone. So you're going to learn how you should hire virtual assistants for a role and not for a task. One job that you simply cannot outsource. So by submitting your work to an outsourcing team, you can concentrate on the most important. The life of a business owner in modern world is not simple. We take on like every profession, right? We do every single job, and it's time consuming. Before you even think about spending time creating new innovative services, courses, products, and then selling them, you first have to go through a lot of other things. You need to hire staff a lot of times, check payments, monitor budgets, sign contracts with suppliers, and the list goes on and on. So it's not surprising, he says, that so many things need to be done. In fact, the author's own attempts to manage his business led him to complete burnout. He simply did not have the time or energy to succeed. It was then that he decided to do everything a little differently. He shifted some of his work to virtual assistants. So VAs are employees who they really work for you, but who are not in the same place as you. They can take on a huge range of tasks from accounting to office management, which allows business owners and managers to focus on what really matters to them. By hiring a VA, you can enjoy what is known as virtual freedom. Now, there are 2 reasons why VAs provide such a great opportunity. First, the internet allows continuous communication across thousands of miles between you and your VA. No matter how far you are from each other, you can work as if you are in the same room. Secondly, there's a huge reserve of available talents. 42 million Americans currently employ self-employed consultants, freelancers, all of which are potentially available on a part-time, full-time, or even project-based basis. So if you're struggling to stay afloat in a sea of tasks, virtual freedom can be your raft. One VA can't do all of the outsourcing work, and there's one job that you should never give them. So just as business leaders can't do everything themselves, neither can VAs. They cannot do all of the work for you. So simply put, you cannot hire one VA that does all of your outsourcing work. No matter how tempting it's going to be to find a VA superhero to whom you can reset all your work, the bitter truth is that we're people and so is your VA. So your VA may be better at one or two tasks. They may be able to solve something better than you. With this in mind, you need to hire specific roles for different VAs. We have a general virtual assistant, that's your general, that manages the administration of your business. Your GVA is the one who does a great job of small repetitive tasks like answering questions from social media, current customers, organizing meetings, sending reminders. However, keep in mind that there's one thing, you guys, you should never outsource, and that is your content. What you sell to your customers, to your clients. Good content can be anything. If you run a tutoring business, it could be your free ebook detailing the best study habits. Or if you have a blog about your SAT tutoring, then you have the steps that everybody makes the biggest mistakes on, right? So you never want to be able to outsource that which is going to make you rank higher in Google. This is really an important thing because your VA most likely can't write the content that is going to serve your specific people. So you want to make sure that you provide the content yourself. Thus, you can then be sure that it will meet the expectations of your customers. Since you provide less important tasks to your VAs, you can devote time to creating that content. He says that working with a virtual staff is a learning process, but there's tricks to make it easier. Working with a VA can seem simple. Obviously, all you have to do is find and hire the right people. But there's something more than that. In fact, he says you're likely to make many mistakes along the way to perfect VAs. The author himself had to learn some difficult lessons through trial and error. For example, at first, it was difficult for him to judge how much power and independence to give his VA. He gave some of them too much power, and they ultimately worked against his will. To others, he gave too little power and to be able to carry out their work. So the trial and error method has led to a heuristic system that you can use when searching for your VAs. So first, never sacrifice quality for value. A good VA is not cheap, especially to run. An application developer, for example, costs up to $2,500 a month. A GVA, $900 a month. So you want to remember that these people, like your employees in the office, from whom you expect better work. In the real world, you would not hire a cheap office manager without administrative experience. So why do it in the virtual world, right? The same consideration applies to location. Overseas, VAs are more likely to be cheaper, and they can perform exactly the same tasks as the VAs in your country. However, working in different time zones, combating cultural differences can be a burden for some. So imagine how disappointed you will be if you have to wait for 6 hours every day to get a response from the person responsible for the video for your site if you need an instant decision on when to download the next hot viral video. You might end up losing out on expectation. Hiring a VA requires a lot of attention. So even if you've never seen your VAs face to face, they remain the same people. Thus, many things that are true for hiring normal employees are also true for hiring VAs. The main thing to keep in mind when hiring a VA is that you should hire them for a role, not a task. Imagine that you need a VA to edit the video for your site. Before you go to hire the best video editor, first think about what else you can demand from a virtual video editor in the future. For example, you might require them to upload a video, shoot the video. In other words, you need to not just focus on the immediate task, digital editing. Think about the big picture. And although you do not have to understand everything that your video editor does, you need to at least have a basic understanding of this in order to be able to make a good hiring decision. But hiring is a task like any other, right? So could you transfer this task to another VA? No, you're responsible for the development of your company. So you should be responsible for recruiting staff. In addition, all good hiring starts with a good job description. He talks about how you need to be very accurate and understandable, both for yourself and for your job candidates, about what you want from the VP. The better the job description, the easier it will be to find the right person to do it. A good job description should be clear, precise, and understandable. Use bulleted lists and be precise in what you want from your VA and what experience is needed to work. And make sure that the interviews are personal. Always use something like Zoom and never rely just on email. Only with the help of planned and quality interviews can you turn a good job description into a great hire. But hiring is only the first step. It's not enough to just hire VAs. You have to also teach them, right? No business leader can expect their new office worker to know exactly what he needs to do without some kind of leadership. They need training, and the same applies to your VA. So there's 3 things that you need to remember when hiring a VA for work. First, as mentioned earlier, you must carefully determine the role for which you want to hire him. If, for example, you hire a VA to manage your office administrator, then you need to take the time to tell him exactly what it is that's required of him. Do not think that he's just going to know this intuitively. Second, your VAs can and should seek help when they have questions, especially at the beginning. Do not let your VA learn by trial and error. Let them know what you expect from them. And finally, be aware of time zones. Training for someone living 12 hours away from you must be well planned in order to be effective. So these 3 postulates are a great start, he says. Be sure to mix the types of media that you use in preparing your VA, including the internet, audio, visual, and traditional written training materials. Learning can take a lot of time and attention, so developing good training materials is going to save you time in the end. And then once you've created the best training resources, you can use them every time you hire a new VA. So stay on top of cultural differences when applying for a job abroad. For example, if you write letters for your Filipino VA in all caps, then they're going to interpret it as a scream, and thus he's going to feel offended. This in turn is going to lead to reduced productivity and resentment. In order to motivate your VAs to do their best work, make sure that they feel part of your team. So as you already know, your VAs, they're ordinary people, right? VAs, just like your regular employees, they're part of your team. Therefore, it's very important that they also understand this. It's best to start with a fair payment. Pay them what they deserve, depending on their experience and market value. And do not forget to accept market conditions and localization, because the usual rate in some countries is much lower than in other countries where average incomes are higher. And always pay them on time, especially if it repents of foreign EAPs, many of whom are the only breadwinners of large families whose welfare depends on their timely income. Be creative with bonuses and benefits. You should not entice them with high salaries. Sometimes things like health insurance will also benefit you. And always pay extra for work on holidays. But just giving a good salary isn't going to be enough. If you want your VAs to become a real team, then you're going to have to involve them in your business. So be sure to set regular times to meet all of your VAs on Zoom and give them a feeling that they're part of your larger vision. Give them a regular assessment and make sure they get feedback on their work. They want to know when they're doing something good and what they can do to become better. Once your team is large enough, you may find that you spend all of your time managing your VAs. When this is happening, you need to provide someone with actual control over your VA team. At this stage, it's time to consider hiring a virtual project manager in order to keep track of your VAs so that you have a good time focusing on achieving high quality content and involve innovations for your valuable clients. So virtual assistants, you guys, they're going to give you the opportunity to get rid of all of the routine work and focus on what you really like, which is tutoring and innovation. But be careful. Just hiring a VA will not solve all of your problems. You need to be smarter in this matter. Find out what steals your time. At the first bet opportunity, make a list of all the specific tasks that you must do and that distract you from the real work. For example, you probably didn't go into the tutoring business to revise budgets, right? You probably are in it to spread your, help kids that are struggling the most. So with this list, you're going to have a better idea of how many VAs you need to hire and free up for your real work. So that is book number 2. And number 1, are we ready for that drum roll? Number 1 is Clockwork. All right, so you start off with this dream, right? You know you got to work hard. You know you got to work long hours. Some give up vacations. You're perpetually stressed. You're constantly thinking about work. Well, in this book, Mike Michaelowitz provides the principles and tools to help you design a business that's going to run like clockwork so you can regain your freedom to enjoy a healthy work-life balance. So in Clockwork, he talks about the 4 Ds and 7 stages of building a clockwork business that can run without you. All right. And this is really awesome, you guys. So now we move from like really building the business to like now the business can be self-sufficient without you. So Mike Michalowicz's goal is to end entrepreneurial poverty. He tackled the lack of money and profit first. And then this is his second book he wrote, Clockwork. And it's built on the core principle of work smarter, not harder. Parkinson's law says that work will expand to fill available time. When you become more productive, you finish your tasks faster, but you end up adding more things to your plate. So you end up working even longer hours. Regardless of your company size, whether he says you have 1 person or 100, organizational efficiency is about getting the most important work done with the least resources. It's not about doing more. To regain your freedom, you want to allocate less time for your business and force yourself to achieve more within that limited time. That way you can increase your impact, free up your time for other life priorities. He says there's 4 key sets of activities that any entrepreneur must perform. They need to personally do the work, allocate tasks, but decide the details and retain control, and delegate by empowering staff to make decisions and be accountable for the results, and then designing and improving the overall business flow while the business runs on its own. The ideal 4D mix is 80% doing, 2% deciding, 8% delegating, 10% designing. Most people in the business spend all their time in doing, right? And he teaches us how to go about it differently. He says there's 7 clockwork stages, and those 7 clockwork stages to building a clockwork business is to analyze your 4D mix, then your company's 4D mix. The next one is to work out the time analysis. How much time are you spending on each of the things that you are specifically working on? Sorry for the hammering. My daughter's redoing her room. She did stop for a good half hour, like a good 15 minutes beforehand. Then we have the queen bee role. We have to decide who is in charge of the most important thing in your business. And everybody's job is to protect the QBR. And the QBR is the most important role inside of your business, and everybody knows what that QBR is. 4 is to take a look at your systems, and instead of using standard operating procedures, which can be laborious yet ineffective, he says, train your people by just whatever it is that you're doing, you are recording it, and you record each of those different aspects. He says, and then you want to develop a team. You have the right people doing the right things and the right proportions correctly. And then 6, commit to your ideal customers. Clarify who your top ideal clients are and commit to them so you have a singular focus for your QBR. Next, monitor your business. So the final phase is to set up your business so that you can monitor it at a strategic level. To do that, you need to identify core metrics that give you a good overview of the business so that you can see at a glance if everything is going smoothly or if something needs attention. And progressively identify and remove any bottlenecks to the business productivity. Building Your Clockwork Business is an incredible book, you guys, and it elaborates on how you can overcome resistance to change. And he provides an 18-month plan to help you with the 7 steps. And then you end by taking a 4-week vacation within 18 to 24 months so that you can disconnect completely from your business. And if your business can survive without you for 4 weeks, then it can probably continue to run on its own. And that's the goal of the book, to take you from, beginning to work hard on your business to that wonderful phrase, hardly working on your business. And it's still continuing to work for you and bring in the income that you desire. So those are my top 5 picks, you guys, for books. Check it out. We also have a free training on Wednesday. We're going to be teaching you how to hire other tutors for your tutoring business. The link is in the description. And we are going to teach you how to double your profits in the next year by hiring those other tutors. So definitely come join us if you haven't signed up for that. Come join us for that. It's going to be awesome. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see all of you soon. Bye, everyone.